Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on yet a phenomenal episode of the podcast. I'm excited today because it is the 20th episode of the podcast, and today we're going to be having a very phenomenal guest as always. His name is Oluwasegun Adu. Yes, and uh, he's going to be taking us on backyard farming. And so he's going to be taking us on backyard farming. So he's here already. Mr. Green, can you hear us?
I can hear you very well.
Fantastic. I know that you're live on the
Yeah,
field
I can hear
doing
you.
some plant watering. Okay. I know that you're live on the field doing some plant watering. Are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic.
I'm
Okay,
going to be sitting
fantastic.
down in the next. I'm going to be sitting in warm in a minute.
All right, that's fine. That's totally fine. Totally fine. All right. And so, guys, Mr. Green seems to be very hands-on. When he joined on the call, he said, he has to sort of water his plants. He showed me the watering can and everything. That's like, okay, just do your thing. So today we're having a conversation about backyard farming. And so why this is important is because I believe that we are at that stage and phase where it is important that we take urban farming much more seriously and so conversation around how to grow your own food, save money in these times. Because the last time I went to the market, like the last time I went to the local market, the cost of vegetables were just, I think it was just let's just leave it there so I don't say something I don't want to say. But that's what it is. And in my head, I'm like, okay, what can we do to also help with that? And it came to mind to like invite someone that teaches how to grow um vegetables and fruits and things uh within sack bags, plastic. So something you could definitely do around your house if you have like a free space somewhere within your residence, or if you don't have a free space, as long as you're able to get some kinds of soils and then put them in a sack or put them within plastics, you should be able to grow these things and just ease yourself of that body much more than just growing your own food. I think it's also like a self care practice that sort of helps you just be involved with that kind of activity, that wholesomeness that comes with gardening, right? And so before we have Mr. Green join us again, he's just trying to just wrap up with the watering of the vegetables. I'm not sure if you guys want to see that anyways. So I'll just read out his profile before he joins us shortly. Uh, Adu Oluwasegun, popularly known as Mr. Green, is a botany graduate from Obafemi Awolowo University and a visionary founder of Greenfit Farms. With over a decade hands-on experience, Mr. Green is passionate about the advocacy for sustainable agriculture, transforming both urban and rural spaces through eco-friendly farming practices. His expertise lies in landscape horticulture, regenerative farming, community-driven agricultural solutions, positioning him as a respected voice in Nigerian agricultural space. He's known for his vibrant personality and his fresh approach to farming. Mr. Green, Mr. Green is a Gen Z trailblazer who brings humor, spontaneity, and social media savvy to engage and educate the new generation of eco-conscious individuals. Whether it's in the field or online, Mr. Green continues to inspire many to embrace green living, grow their own food, and contribute to more sustainable future. So, Mr. Green, we're excited to have you. And obviously, you have to sit down under a tree. I need you to show our audience your hair. That the green thing is a lifestyle for you. Show them your hair, please. Mr.
Okay,
Green, show
thank
our
you.
audience your hair. I just read your profile. Okay.
Thank you.
Fantastic. You see, he's just embodying it. So I think our conversation should start out from um first off, what inspired you to go into urban farming? I know that your background is in botany from Abafemi Awolowo University, but what inspired you to just say, okay, I'm going to do this, and then also you then sort of moved into founding your company, which is Greenfit. So, what inspired that whole process for you?
Okay, thank you. Let me introduce myself by myself again. My name is Adu Taofiq Oluwasegun, botanistically, phytologically, mystically known as Mr. Green. So, what inspired me to join farming or in planting words? My father is a farmer, although that's not it. So, I was given botany in Obafemi Awolowo University. That's what we say. We say we were given because I want to be a doctor. So when I realized I can't be a doctor, then I said to myself, I'm going to be a doctor of plants and I'm going to be very good at it. So from my 200 level, I took the bull by the horn and I started digging, trying to know more. I wasn't so good in school theoretically, but practically, some of my classmates, they know me. Like when it comes to identifying plants, I just like to move around nature because everywhere I go, I see green, I see plants. So it occurs to me that this is a field that it needs that it has a lot inside because everywhere you go, imagine like you are studying people is a very sellable space because there are a lot of people everywhere. So there are plants everywhere. Then I key in then lucky for me, when I finished, I got posted to Jos. I've always loved Jos because of the weather. That's the temperate like weather, synonymous in both weather. So getting to here, I served in a horticultural garden. I chose to do that myself because I just wanted to learn more and to increase the scope. Then after that, um, when I finished, then I got a support from a bank of industry. Then boom, I have a farm. Originally, I'm a landscape horticulturist, and I trained myself more by seeing what people do around about the farming. Then there comes Greenfit Farms. If you want to ask about how I met this personality and everything, maybe we'll talk about that, as we go on. But if you want me to talk about that now, it's still okay. So that's how
Well, you can
Greenfit Farms.
definitely just chime that in as well. You can definitely chime that in.
Okay, so naturally, I'm a very weird person. Like everyone around, I'm just this unserious kind of person. Like when it comes to playing, I don't take the only time I tell people, I said the only time I get serious is when I'm writing exam when I was in school. Even if you look at me too much when I'm writing exam, I'm gonna wink at you. You get so that's just me, like every day. So I get to be serious with my content and not really giving though any much attention or so. Then then I said to myself, because I do stand-up comedy too, like why are you
Mm.
trying to do this thing because you want to be very corporate, you want to be a corporate farmer, you like act to organize and tell people, yes, if you plant tomato 2 days, it's gonna grow, then this you do that. No, let me be me. So me doing me. This is me bringing personality, myself into the picture. I remember when I started making skits, that's funny videos. I've pended that right now. I just feel like I can synergize everything like into preaching plants into people and selling a different kind of idea, letting them know that as a farmer, you don't need to be boring. You don't need to follow the status quo or like this is how you're supposed to do it. The main thing, if you check my videos, I try as possible to get the information passed, but I will do it my own way. So I think that's me just doing my things for my raw for
Fantastic.
myself.
Fantastic. Uh, Interestingly, I came across your content on Instagram. And first, I think the first attraction for to just say, oh, let me pay more attention to this was like your hair. I was like, this guy's farm his page is like green fit, and his hair is like green. And I think the content I had engaged with was you sort of packaging. I wasn't sure if it was strawberry or something, but just putting things together. I was like, first of all, I like the fact that you had like this vibrant personality to yourself, and you were really enjoying what you were doing, right? And I said to myself, I said, this is a kind of person that serves as a good example to the average millennial or the average Gen Z to say that agriculture can be fun. Agriculture can be, vibey. It doesn't have to be the way sometimes we see it on the media, like, oh, people are just going through a lot of hardship within it. Like I said, okay, yeah, I think this person will be like a very good fit to sort of speak with people in terms of maybe undergrad or recent graduates, thinking that okay, there's nothing for them in agriculture. And secondly, interestingly, I also sort of served in Bocos in Plateau, and it was so funny that during my time there, I didn't get to visit any strawberry farm, but I know that they do a lot of open field farming for vegetables, specifically lettuce, cabbage, carrots, and and the likes. And so I feel like people that are in Plateau, usually they have so much going on for them, but the media doesn't portray that side most times. It's just typically the other things that also happen around. And so back to our main conversation for today, which is how to grow your own food and save money. There was a video of you I saw recently that you had plants. I think you were a pepper or something in a green bucket or a green drum. I was like, we need to talk about that too, because even when we talk about say grow your food in your backyard, most people don't have like sandy backyards anymore, especially if you live in like urban areas now. Everywhere is so interlocked and tiled, and so just seeing that, to me, it sends the message that okay, planting in a bucket or in a sack is possible, right? So what are some of like the beginner friendly vegetables do you think that Nigerians can start growing even with no farming experience?
Yeah, thank you. Farming is easy and hard, like I've always said. It depends on the how you take it. Yes, so you don't have to be rigid. You learn along the line. You learn along the line. Just start small. Like I've always said, the first thing to do is be ready from your mind. Like, be ready, be sure this is what I want to do, and I'll be ready to go for it. So that interest, that zeal is going to make you learn along the line. Quite all right, you can make some mistakes, but at least you will learn. So you can grow things in containers. That's they call it containerized farming. The truth of the matter is that it is not as UD, it is not as elaborate as the one on the ground, quite all right, but it will still give you a good result. You can grow things in sacks, in containers, in tires, in buckets, in pots, different kind of pots. So, like I've always said, the bigger the size of your pot, the better for you. In your backyard, maybe everywhere is interlocked, everywhere is tied, or it's not even your house. When you are staying in a place that is not your house, maybe you are even staying maybe at the store, maybe the second floor, the third floor, where you don't have the access to the ground place. In your balcony, you can put one or two vegetables pots. All you just need is a good amount of ray of light. If you don't have exclusive sunlight, it's still okay. You can grow fine. So once you have a good space, number one thing, you need space, you need your interest, you need a good soil. Yes, then you bring in your container, you plant. Let's take for example, maybe you want to grow like lettuce. That is one of the easiest vegetable to grow. It doesn't take time. Just broadcast the seed. You don't even need to cover the seed. Broadcast the seed. In few days, let's say 10 days, you notice that it has sprouted, it has germinated. Don't worry, leave it. Just be giving water. Once it has grown significantly, then you can put some manure. Yes, put some manure, give it some nutrients, then keep watering. You don't need to water every day. Contrary to the general opinion that you water your plant every day, always in the morning. No, you don't need to water your plant every day. When your plant needs water, you will know. Another thing is that be very, very painstaking. Pay attention to details. At least when you are growing something, you'll be looking at it. Okay, once in a while, okay, it's doing fine. Then you take your eyes off it. So if your plant needs water, you will know. But you water your plant most of the time every other day. So if you water your lettuce, let's say for example that you planted from seeds and it has sprouted, then you've put added manure, then it has kicked off. If you notice that the leaves is growing maybe a little bit yellowish, you know, okay, you need some nutrients again. Then you probably add some manure, you water. if it's not doing very fine, maybe it's in a very enclosed place that is not getting much ray of light, take it to where you get enough ray of light. These are just the thing that you continue to do around your vegetables. Once you pay attention to details, you're studying, you're checking the thing, then you know, okay, oh, I need to add this, I need to subtract this. Then in any case that maybe uh, you are facing a vague situation. I mean, like, you are not clear about what you need to do. Maybe something is not clear to you. Then you can reach out to, like, someone like me. I try as much as possible to give you a free solution. I've not started charging. Maybe later on I could be charging for more, maybe consultation or so. But if you reach out to me on my Instagram page, this so things is happening to my plan. What do I do? I'll just, okay, oh, this is it. Can I see the picture? Can I see the video? Okay, do this, do that. So I'm a Gen Z farmer. Also, I'm here to like guide you, because when I see people growing things, it makes me happy. So it makes me happy. It's not just about the money, it's about the interest we keen in into food sustainability. So I don't know if I was able to like answer this particular part. If you want me to take you through the step by step of growing lettuce from seed to harvesting, I will do that. But this is just a run through of the whole thing. Your mic.
Can you imagine? Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. We'll definitely walk through the process of, the lettuce farming. But however, there's this one thing I want you to touch on before we proceed. Do you think that um, the soil used for the backyard farming or the farming within the pots or the plastic or the sack bag, do they have to be a specific kind of soil? Does it have to be like maybe sandy soil, loamy soil, clay soil? What exactly does it have to be?
See, okay, thank you. The thing about farming most of the time is that you try to use what you have. Yeah.
Mm,
One thing about me is that I try as much as possible not to be not to follow a trend. I try to be real. So most people try to come with this sugar coated stuff, this, that, blah, blah, blah. Me, I'll tell you the real truth, even though you don't want to take it. But at the end of the day, you eventually see it. There are so many people that they cannot access a good sand, like a good soil. The best soil for farming is sandy loamy soil. Yes, because of
mm,
so many reasons. The texture, it drains water easily, you have more nutrient conservation there, the structure, the profile, and everything of the soil is the best. Yes, if you don't have sandy loamy soil, you can still grow. Maybe your soil is more clayey. Funny enough, Plateau State has one of the largest exotic vegetable in the whole country, and our
yeah,
soil, most of the soil is not sandy loamy. Most of
yeah,
Plateau soil muddy, is soggy, is
yeah,
clayey. So what you do is make use of any soil you have, make sure you improve the soil, incorporate compost, incorporate part of manure, let your soil be aerated, let your soil be light, so that your plants can penetrate well. So that's the reason why before you do any farming process, if you are not doing containerized farming, if you are planting on the land, till your soil very well, let it be soft, till it land preparation, let it be good. So if you are planting in container, you need to mix good soil, at least take some portion of soil, mix some manure with it, mix some ash with it, and so on and so forth. That's going to give you a good result. It's going to give you a balanced soil for you to grow your planting. You know that soil is the basis of growing plants. Once you have your soil, because that's the bedrock, that's where your plant will be sitting on, taking nutrient from. So your soil needs to be well prepared. You have good soil, good for you, perfect. If you don't have good soil, you can improve your soil by composting it, by giving it a good manure, and by at least good fertilizer along the line as you grow your crop.
fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. So, if a person is applying the compost or the inorganic fertilizer, after doing that and mixing the soil, is there a period they need to leave that mix before they plant, or they can immediately just plant?
It depends on what you are missing. Yeah, it depends on
Okay.
what you are like, and it depends on what you are doing. Sometimes you apply some things like neem cake to your soil just to kill some pathogens. Sometimes you apply like a neem tea to kill some pathogens. So what we do sometimes is that if it is something that we want to be very meticulous about, once we mix our soil, then we can cover with a leather for like 2 weeks so that the pathogens in the soil will have died off, and the soil will have been well incorporated. Then you can plant. But if your soil is at least average, you can mix the soil, mix the compost, then you can plant instantly. There's not going to be any issue. You don't need to wait for days, most especially when you are not even adding neem cake or neem or tea. You can plant instantly, or you are not adding furadan. Furadan is one pelleted or granulated chemical you just drop on this, at least to kill some nematode and some soil-borne disease. Quite all right. Some good soil like earthworm and so they could go, but at least you have a good soil for now. Then those things will come back later, the earthworm and the good bacteria that we hate your growing.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So now, can you sort of walk us through how to successfully plant and harvest any vegetable? Say, for instance, like lettuce, from seed to like harvest within a home setting. Can you walk us through that process? Like, what would be required?
Okay, I don't know, man. I think I spoke a little about lettuce like before now. I think let me pick a
Or you can
different
speak. You
vegetable.
can speak about something else, maybe
Yeah,
pepper
let me pick
or
a
chili,
different vegetable
chili as
entirely.
well.
Yes, let me pick
Okay,
cucumber, or let's say
okay.
carrots. Let me pick cucumber. Yes. So
No, I think
cucumber
do
is one of
something
the
that people would maybe sort of like to eat more. Is it possible for you to walk us through, let's say, bell pepper or chili pepper or
yes.
something?
Let me do
Okay,
bell pepper. Let me do bell
fantastic.
pepper. Yes. Okay, bell pepper. Yes, that's one of the most sought after greenhouse vegetable. Yeah, and again, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
okay because bell pepper is so sensitive that most of the time it's better for you to grow it in greenhouse, and most people don't have greenhouse facility. Is it still okay for me to talk about it? Okay, bell
Okay, talk
pepper
about the one that
most
we can do at the backyard. That so that people don't feel,
okay.
because people will watch this and then go and try out what you say and then say, ah, it did not work. So talk about something that is not too psychedelic, it's not too sophisticated. It can thrive regardless of the condition.
Okay, I think let me just do the most sensitive crop, which is the most problematic one, tomato. Let me talk about tomato.
Okay. Okay.
Do you like me talk about tomato?
Fine, we can talk about. We're also going to talk about tomato later, but okay, do cucumber. Do cucumber, then talk about, because
Okay,
we're going to talk about tomato later. So do cucumber.
okay, thank you. Okay, growing cucumber, yeah, is one of the easiest vegetables to grow because it grows very fast. It's growing like it wants to go and die. That's how cucumber is. Grows very, very fast. If you sow cucumber by two ways you can do your cucumber. You can sow your cucumber seed directly on the field, or you can raise it in a seed tray or in bucket. If you raise your cucumber seed, prepare a good nursery soil, a good media. You can put cocoa peat ratio 50-50 with soil. If you like, you can do ratio 40. That's for the soil, the black soil. Then you do the cocoa peat, you do another 40. Then you do a good manure, rabbit poo, or you can do rabbit put is more preferred because it doesn't come with seed. Ratio 50 40 40 20. Once it means that, mix everything together. That's at least your nursery media. Then you put in a bowl. If you check my page, you can see that you can either use a bowl or you use a tray, or you can even find an area where you put the thing. It doesn't have to be in any container. Just get an area, put the soil there or the media, then you sow your seed. Just drop them, at least give them space like half an inch apart or closer. So then you cover with light material of what you are raising with. I mean, like the media covered lightly, very lightly. You cover lightly, then water very well. Then you cover the whole thing. Let it undergo dark phase because seeds like to break dormancy. They germinate better in dark phase. Once your seed sprouts, maybe after like 5 days to 7 days, your seed will have germinated. Cucumber germinates that fast. Unlike pepper, pepper can take 2 weeks without even germinating. It's still going to germinate, but it takes time. But cucumber germinate very fast. When it germinates, it will take like 3 weeks in the nursery. Keep watering it every day, at least for now. The reason for the everyday watering is that they are still very young and juvenile, so they need energy. Where they get their energy from is the watering. So if you don't water to one day, if you go there the next day, you might notice that okay, this thing is getting flaccid or is sleepy. So it's ideal for you to water every day. Then in 3 weeks maximum, it should be ready for transplanting. We are transplanting your cucumber in bags. Good and fine. You definitely know you are spacing your bags. Okay, maybe put one bag, then put another bag. That's an ideal space. But if you are planting on the field, on the ground, at least give it 50 cm apart. 50 to 70 cm apart, because you want
Okay.
your cucumber to be proud, to have branches, so that ray of light can come from different angle. Then at least the more ventilated the place is, the better production you have. So you can give it between 50 to 70 centimeter apart planted. Then you continue to manure after 2 weeks. Let your cucumber peak. Don't put manure instantly after maybe while preparing your soil, you might have incorporated some manure into the soil. But when you plant, don't manure instantly and don't put any fertilizer. Let your cucumber stabilize like 2 weeks. Then you drop some manure. You can use poultry waste. You can use cow dung. But I advise you to use poultry waste from the start. Weathered one, not the wet one. At least the one that has
Exactly. I
like
was
the
going to say
post,
that.
the dry one preferably. Like
Mhm.
use like your hand, like your hand like this. You fetch like small, like 1/6 of your of handful, like 1/6, very small. Just drop it there on everything.
So can we say a tablespoon? Because most people will not take
Okay,
head liter with their hand. Can we say tablespoon so
okay.
that
Let's
people
say
don't
let's
feel
say take
discouraged? Like,
let's say
"Oh,
let's say tablespoon. Yes, tablespoon. The reason for
okay.
that is that
Hmm.
like too much of everything is bad. As young as that plant is, if you
Yes,
overdose it the nutrients, it might die. So you give it very small, at least a nutrient, like a tablespoon. Then you notice that okay, after another 2 weeks, you have noticed that it has come up with more leaves. It's good to go. Then you can drop some fertilizers. Then preferably 15-15 or 20-10-10. Drop very small granulated fertilizer.
that's
I'm going to talk
NPK.
about yeah, NPK. I'm going to talk about my stand about
Okay,
organic or inorganic as we go, because but at least let me just finish
fantastic.
this cucumber right now. Let me finish this cucumber talk. So drop that small amount of fertilizer on the cucumber. Then at that time, maybe it will have brought out tendrils or sucker. You keep removing the suckers. Keep removing the suckers, because suckers are like branches for cucumber. They will grow like when your cucumber is growing up, it's an erect plant, like single. Then it's going to bring out sucker. Those suckers will grow to an independent branch entirely, grow different. So once you remove them, then you concentrate the energy on one branch. Most of the time it's better that way. If you want to do two branches, fine, but it's better you do one branch. Then from that one branch, from the azil, you see that it started bringing out flower. And when it start bringing out flower, you know that okay, you need to apply some fertilizer on it again, at least to give it energy. So all you be doing is to be alternating fertilizer, manure, fertilizer, manure, fertilizer, manure. Then you need to pay attention to the plant. Be checking under the leaves most of the time, because one of the disease or the pests that perch on cucumber very well is spider mites, and they are mostly under the leaves. You see them, they are small, small. Before you know, your leaves will be turning yellow. Then the yield will be used, and even your plant might eventually die. You see a lot of cobwebs on the plant, so you'll be checking them, then you'll be spraying. You can be alternating spraying neem oil, liquid soap, abamectin, or some inorganic insecticide. Abamectin is a very good combatant for spider mites. So you spraying.
Mm.
So from seed sowing to 50 days, you can harvest your cucumber. It is that fast. From seed sowing to 60 days. From seed sowing, not from transplanting. From transplanting, sometimes in 3 weeks or like in a month, you harvest. But from seed sowing, 50 to 60 days, you can harvest your cucumber. So once you harvesting, the more you harvest, the more the thing grows longer because it's a vine. Then the more harvest you can make.
Oh,
It's
wow.
like a vine is growing. Then it will
Mm,
get to a level that yield reduce quite all right.
mm,
That maybe when it gets to the peak, then yield reduce. Maybe you are harvesting like a single cucumber plant. Maybe you're harvesting like 4, 5 in a week before. Then once the yield drop, then you'll be picking like 2. Know that your plant is growing into expiration. Okay, that you need to remove that plant, at least put another one.
wow. Wow.
So
Thank you so much
quite
for sharing that.
it's quite fun. So, and again, I think I didn't mention this. The number one thing you need to take note of when it comes to growing cucumber is that is watering. It needs a lot of water. The more you water cucumber, the more the fruit grows bigger. Because 95% of cucumber is water. Even the whole cucumber. So that's why if you are thirsty, if you want to hydrate yourself, cucumber is a plant you can snack on. Instead of you to be just buying any kind of drink, you can always use cucumber to hydrate yourself because most of the cucumber content is water. So it needs a lot of water huge so that it will grow bigger. If you water your cucumber, let's say once, twice a week, the way the fruit will be big will not be as much as the person that water is around 3 or 4 times in a week. So the more water you give your cucumber, the bigger the yield you get from it, or the more the yield.
Fantastic. So, in terms of this watering, is it ideal like if a person waters every day, or they have to stick to it like maybe 3 to 4 times a day?
Okay, thank you. It depends on the volume of water you are putting, and it depends on your method of watering. There are different methods. You can use drip line. You can water with flood irrigation. You can use sprinkler. You can use like hose that you'll be using to water. Depends. For home gardeners, people that are like they don't have much. Most of the time they water with buckets. You just like take a bowl, put it on your plants. So this is what you do. If you are able to fill to the brim or almost to the brim of any container you are using, this is how you plant. Like I've always told people, don't plant then fill up the entire space of your container. I plant 80%, at least 80 the height. Don't plant up to the brim. So the remaining 20% space up is for water and for manure. So don't
Mm,
plant and fill up to the brim. So when you are while watering the remaining 20%, if you are able to fill to like 95% before the thing starts to be overflowing, if you leave it, you don't need to water every day. You can be leaving one day off. But for someone that use
mm.
a drip plant method, you might want to be watering 2 times a week, morning and evening. Maybe you on your drip line, it drips, then maybe like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, you off it. Then in the evening, you do the same thing. Or you water once a day. Like myself, I water my greenhouse with my cucumber once a day. The open feed, because our soil retains water, because it's clay, it retains water. I water that one 2 times in a week. If you water today, because it's flooding
Okay.
irrigation, you are flooding a lot of water. Come back there the second day, you see that it is still very wet. The third day, it is still relatively wet. The fourth day, maybe the water has started going down. Then you give it water again. So it depends on the kind of irrigation you are using and the type of farming that will warrant the frequency of your watering. But overall, always check. You will see yourself that okay, oh, this is it. But for containerized farming, it is ideal you water your plants every day or every other day for cucumber. Every day or every other day. That's for cucumber.
Hmm. Fantastic. Wow,
Sorry,
that's
sorry.
really
At
good.
this point in time, if I was not able to like answer your question to your satisfaction, please bring me back to it so that I can do enough justice to it. Thank you.
Sure, definitely. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's good to know that cucumber takes a lesser time, so in less than 60 days. So that means within 2 months, we can grow and harvest cucumber. Guys, I hope
Yes.
that you guys are learning something from what Mr. Green is sharing today. So my very next question now is now to tomatoes. How can someone grow tomatoes at home? And what's like the biggest mistake to avoid during planting and fruiting stage in tomato?
Okay. Growing tomato. To me, I think any farmer that I see growing tomato commercially, I take them as risk takers. Okay. Can you hear me well? It's like the network is freezing. I don't know. So I think I don't know. I think I can continue before she joins. Okay. So when she comes back, I'll probably go back and take this part again. Growing cucumber, the network is freezing. It's freezing, and I don't want to log out and in. She's not even here to put me through. I'm not so good at this live stuff. So growing tomato tomato is something that can give you wahala or that can give you problem at any point. Yes. So when you are growing tomato, you need to be ready for anything that comes. You need to be very ready. So from your seed procurement, make sure you get a good seed. Yes, get a good seed from a good seed source. Get a good seed. In just here, the tomato we grow so much commercially is we call it UTC 18. It's so strong like this. If you get UTC 18, good. Or if you get a good Derica variety or Syria variety, good and fine. You can grow it. Raise your seed. Tomato germinate relatively fast. In 5-10 days, your tomato will have sprouted. The same method of raising seeds, get a good soil media, broadcast your seed inside, then you cover lightly, water very well thoroughly, then you cover with a leather so that your plant can germinate in that phase. After it has germinated 5 days to 10 days, then you open. Ensure that your tomato does not grow too long before you open. If it is too leggy, while watering or taking care of it, it might take time. Okay, I think she's back now.
You can
Okay,
continue. Thank you. Had a
okay,
little technical
welcome,
glitch.
welcome back. Okay, so you okay. Then you make sure that your tomato does not grow too leggy. Yes, make sure it doesn't grow too leggy. If it grows too leggy, like too elongated before you open it, then what? Before you know, that tomato might not make it. It might die because the extended plumo, because that's what they call it. When it comes to seed germination, the one that goes down to form root is called radicle. The one that comes up is plumo before the first leaf. So that stem, immediately your tomato shoots up, you open it so that the stem will be strong. Once it starts receiving air and small sunlight, it goes stronger. But imagine your tomato has grown elongated and it's very leggy. Before it stands up and you're watering and they are sleeping on each other, some of them might die. So immediately your tomato sprouts, continue to water, open it. Then in like 3 weeks, or let's say 1 month, you can transplant. Once your tomato has brought out like 5 leaves, you know, okay, oh, these are 5 leaves on the tomato, then you can transplant on the field. When it comes to soil preparation, make sure you prepare your soil very well, and you put good manure, and you put ash. The reason why you put ash is because something fusarium wilting or bacterial wilting. Most of the time, if your soil pH is so acidic, it makes that thing to come to play easily. But if you put like calcium related stuff like ash or limestone more in your bed while preparing, it reduces the effect of bacterial wilting, because that's number one wahala when it comes to growing tomato. Once you've ensured that you prepare your soil well, give it a good manure, give it some ash, wood ash, put it there, then you plant your tomato. While planting your tomato, you don't need to plant erect. You can plant erect, or you can plant an angle, or you can make it a little bit sleepy, but make sure that at least you cover the tomato very well, then you water immediately. Same method, after 3 weeks or thereabout, put some manure, put some fertilizer, and so on. So one thing you need to be very careful of when it comes to growing tomato is
Mr.
tuta.
Green, so when you say bed, please let people know what it is. Oh, some people don't think it's like the bed they sleep on. For context, when you say bed, let people know what it is.
Bed is just
I know
like
you're speaking some
a
farm
land.
language. The average person does
Yeah,
not know what bed is. They
bed,
know of mattress. So please.
be- bed is not mattress. It's not where you sleep on. Bed is where your plants sleep, or where your plants stay. It's just a land you
Mhm,
prepare. It depends.
mhm.
If you are doing rainy season farm, you prepare your land, make it go this way so that it has ridges. Then you plant your tomato on the ridges, like on the ridges. That's your bed. That's how you prepare your bed. But for dry season farming, we should do very well here. Make sure you prepare your bed in chambers, so that when you are doing your flooding irrigation, the water will settle
Go by
in very well.
inside.
It will not overflow. It will settle in very well. Just a bed is just a ground land you prepared for you to plant your crops on, and
Mm.
you prepare your bed different ways. Just preparing bed, I think that's explain bed. Prepare your bed very well. So once your tomato is 2 weeks, put some manure, put some fertilizer. Sorry, some manure first. After another 2 weeks, that is a month. Put some fertilizer. It's going to give it a very good energy to spring up. Then you continue to do preventive spray. Spray neem oil in alternation with some inorganic pesticide. There's a video I just made right now. The farm very close to me is a big tomato farm. At least I'm trying to like see how they are doing their growing, and I'm part of it at least to some extent. I noticed that a few weeks ago, I noticed that there's a disease called tuta absoluta, that it has come to play on that farm. And I keep telling them, please be spraying, be spraying, be spraying, spray tuta first, spray tuta first. Tuta it was a menace like a few years ago, that it reduced the number of tomato in circulation worldwide generally. It's a kind of pest that when it comes to your tomato farm, if you don't spray the right pesticide, you are doomed, you are gone. Because in a matter of days, 4 days, you see everywhere brown.
Mm.
So most of the time, the pesticide that combats that is inorganic pesticide. Even neem has very little role to play. The only way neem will help you, neem oil, when you spray neem oil, because neem oil, as far as I'm concerned, is the most potent organic pesticide you can use. Neem oil, as far as I'm concerned, is the most potent. Using ginger, chili mix, and everything doesn't really give you that result, because I've tried them, and there are some pests that a lot of pests that they did not die. So when it comes to tomato, if you are doing preventive spraying, there's something they call preventive spraying and treatment spraying. Preventive spraying is easy, and you are not even afraid of anything, because that disease has not come. You are just trying to make sure it doesn't come. You are giving your plant a shield, a guide, like no, nothing will come to you. That is when you are spraying your neem oil. But let's say that the tutor has come now. Maybe you are seeing one or two trees, and it's so easy for you to diagnose tutor. You see that they are, because they are leaf miner. You see on your plant, you see that it has some lines on it like this. That's tutor. You see it has some line. That's when their larva is hatching and they are multiplying inside. If you quickly spray tutor at that point, it's going to reduce the effect. But if you allow the tutor to sink in and to spread, to infect your plant the more, you have a lot of work to do, because the thing will enter your fruit. All your fruits, you see that they have holes. You can't make a good harvest out of that tomato. So
Wow.
from like 3 weeks, a month, you would have started spraying, doing spray, spraying neem oil. You spray neem oil like 2 times in a week. Preferably spray in the evening, so that the thing will sink in more. Then the next day, the sunlight does not quickly take off the chemical you spray on the surface. And that's why sometimes it's even good for you to put some liquid, some oil, so that there will be a binder. They will bind what you're spraying on the plants. Yes, so that the plants will eat more. Because neem oil is to some extent stick and the contact in one way or the other, because it's still sinking the plant. There are some chemical, they are only contact. They work on the surface. They don't enter inside the plant. Tuta absoluta is a systemic tuta force, or tuta is a systemic pesticide that enters, then go and take care of the inside, kill that tuta absoluta, push out the larva, make them to die. But if the thing has gotten so severe on your tomato, you might not be able to recover it. But before that time, maybe if you notice on time, you spray, because it is very easy now. There's almost no tomato plantation you will not see tuta that comes in. But for the northern farmer here, because most of the tomato we produce them from north, they know already. Once you plant, you started doing preventive spraying. Even before you see it at all, you are already spraying. You are spraying. You are spraying. You are spraying. Okay, that's for the commercial people. But for those that are growing tomato in the house, for home gardeners, this is what you do. When you grow your tomato, after 2 weeks, drop some manure. Then in a month time, you can drop some fertilizer. For those that don't want to put any fertilizer at all, good and fine. After another week, you drop another manure. The thing about tomato is that even if you don't put manure at all, like there are times that you just see a tomato lying fallow, producing significant fruits. You could do more. You could do more if you at least give it some nutrients, but you can still get a good harvest. You can be lucky that you even see the thing not having any pest, any disease on a tomato that is lying fallow and somewhere that nobody is taking care of. But nature has its own way of playing. You see that thing that you are trying to take care of, that nothing is supposed to happen to ordinarily, then you see it having issue. So what do you do as a human? Myself, I'm a kind of person, I don't fall sick easily. Let me use myself as an example. I can't remember. I have not treated for like significant treatment, I think, for the past 8 years or thereabouts. Some people are not like that. So let's say you are a kind of person that falls sick easily. What do? You have to be taking care of yourself. You'll be taking care of yourself. Okay, when you fall sick, you use this, you use that. The same thing as tomato that you are growing in your house. Even if your tomato is not giving you wahala, the fact that I don't fall sick easily does not mean I expose myself to any kind of thing. I still trying to at least manage my lifestyle, do the right thing. So the tomato you are growing in your house that is not showing any sign, or okay, this is going to get sick or so, at least you'll be doing one or two. Give it good water, give it good manure. Sometimes you spray neem oil. That is where the organic aspect comes in. Spray neem oil. At least neem oil prevents pests from like spreading on your plants. But once you now notice that, okay, that thing I'm preventing now, it has come, then what do? You bring in tutafos. Most of the time, that's the crazy menace in tomato. If it's not too far, tutafos, if it's the stem borer, this thing, they will bore inside the stem. Those ones are easy to combat. If you spray your neem oil, where it's going to eradicate them, or you can put some cypermethrin, some some pesticide, maybe DD4. I don't want to be mentioning brand or thereabouts. So spraying them in mild quantity. Another thing you need to take note of is dosage. Don't uh, over concentrate your pesticide when you are spraying them. Even neem oil. If you want to spray neem oil to like a liter of water, if you put like 10 ml of neem oil is okay. 10 ml of neem oil is okay to like a liter. So that means if you are spraying, if your knapsack is like 16, if it is 10 liter, if you are spraying like around maybe 80 ml, that's ideal. If your knapsack is still around the 16 liter, if you are spraying like 80 ml or to like 100 ml, it's still very ideal. When it comes to different pesticide, they have their own different mixing, they are different dosage. Make sure you don't under dilute, make sure you don't over dilute. Read the instructions on any pesticide you are using. Okay, read the instruction, then that will guide you on knowing how you will mix. If you over under dilute it, it will not work on your plant, and if you over dilute it, it probably burn your plant. You see the action of what you spray. So let's say that okay, you don't have any tutor on your plant now, your tomato is growing fine and good. Then you use enough potassium at least for the root formation, and so that it can give your tomato plant good fruit. When it comes to fruiting, then if you give your tomato good potassium, it makes it to fruit bigger, it makes it to fruit more. There are some fertilizers that they are more they are more potassium based. Look for them, things like that in the market. You buy them from agro store, you buy. Or if you don't want to do that, if you want to do exclusive organic the way you want it, then at that time you'll be mixing, you have a good mix of compost that you can use on your plants, or you can be giving it a good rabbit poo. Rabbit poo gives a lot of energy. Rabbit poo, give your plant rabbit poo consistently, then you see that the fruit of your tomato is bigger. Then there's no pest or disease on your tomato. Then you can grow a good table sized tomato for your house, or if you have enough, you can probably sell out. From
Fantastic.
from seed sowing to harvesting of tomato, that will take you like 2 months, or let's say 70 days, 70 days, 80 days, 70 days, 80 days. Sometimes it takes longer, it will even take like 90 days. You are still very much on track. Based on
Okay.
one of the conditions and reduce the time to harvest, is still very good and fine. You're still very, very much on track. So from like
Mm.
0 days from seed sowing to like 2 months to 3 months, let's just say 90 days maximum, you harvest for tomato. Unlike bell pepper that takes more than 100 days, like 120 days before it breaks color. At least tomato, 2.5 months, you're already harvesting from sowing.
Fantastic, fantastic. Speaking of bell peppers or chili pepper, we're going to also talk about those ones as well. But before we proceed further, I want to ask you: do you only do soil-based farming, or you also incorporate hydroponics as well?
Okay, the hydroponic part, I have not done anything hydroponic related. The only thing I've done when it comes to rooting my plants. Maybe I want to root the rosemary I caught, or the because you can root them in water too, or because I'm a landscape horticulturist, or you have some plants that they can grow easily in water, like Dracena, like pothos, and so on. I grow them, but I have a farmer that have tried or like farmers here, like two that they have tried hydroponics. It is technical, and
Yeah.
it did not them the much results that they are expecting. See, let me tell you the truth. Most of the things you hear online, it is when you start practicing to some things that you start to see the reality. Even the guy that brought the hydroponic that make it to be quite pronounced in Jos, he has done a lot of failed projects. He has done a lot of failed projects because it is technical, and you are not even, they will tell you that you get times two of what you get when you do the soil planting. Hydroponics is best for leafy vegetables like lettuce. But when it comes to vegetables that are fruits, you might not get what you want from hydroponic. It has happened to two farmers that I know. If you know a farmer that
Mm.
is doing hydroponic consistently in Nigeria and that is cashing out, I think you can tag them and let me know them and let me see okay how they are doing it quite well. But hydroponics is very, very technical, and you are not even sure that you are going to get a good yield, a good harvest. So why trying? They will tell you it's times two. The people that have done it here, the first production got some is not as big as the way we thought it's going to be. And before you know, you
Mm.
see a line of your bed dying. Then you are trying, okay, what is going on? Okay, is the mixing, is this also part? So it's still technical. We'll not be able to figure it out very well. But when it comes to growing leafy vegetables like kale, like let's even say cabbage and some hydroponic is great. I have not tried it on my own, but I have seen people that they have tried it. But I am not big yet. Before you try hydroponic, some resources, you need a lot of financial support. That okay, oh, let me try. So you need to have a lot of backbone, a lot of cushion. Hey, let me try hydroponics. That is when you want to grow it commercially. But I have not tried it. I
Fantastic.
haven't.
So I asked that question because Wahib asked the question because we had a someone watching online that asked that question. So that's why I asked. Then his other question was um it's a follow-up question. Does okay? He was also talking about hydroponics between bell pepper and habanero, but I think you've sort of talked about that one. That hydroponics, in so many ways, is better for much more leafy vegetable than vegetables that fruit. So I think we'll just sort of leave that aside. I hope, Mr. Cole, I hope that that answer that Mr. Green provided for us, you found that useful. So my very next question to you is: we've talked now about cucumber, we've talked now about tomato. So another plant that I would like us to sort of touch on before we wrap up today would be hot chili pepper or pepper. So can you walk us through how to grow hot pepper, whether chili pepper or regular pepper? It doesn't have to be bell pepper. It can be our not our local pepper. You know, before bell pepper came, we had our normal local pepper that we use on making stew. So can you also walk us through that? Because the essence of this conversation today is I want someone to listen to us and be able to practice what you have interview today, and also be able to then say, oh, I did this, these are the feedbacks and things and stuff. So just walk us through step by step how to grow hot pepper, Nigerian regular pepper. How do we go about that in our backyards?
Okay, so growing, let's say at a rodo, let's say rodo, that is coach bonnet.
Yeah.
Let's say growing
Your camera is
rodo.
off.
Huh?
Your camera is off. Do you know that?
No, can you see me
Oh,
now?
no, I can't see you.
Is it network? My camera is on.
Oh, I can't see you.
You, but you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me, but you can't see me. I think I can see myself. I don't know.
Okay, so do you want to log out and then log in back?
I think it's better. Let me just log out, then I'll log in back.
Okay, fantastic.
Let me log out and log in back.
Fantastic. All right, guys, while we wait for him to sort of reconnect, bear with us. We're in Nigeria, and sometimes we have a bit of connectivity issues, so just bear with us. But so far, I believe that this conversation has been quite insightful. Mr. Cole, thank you for asking those questions as well. And so, guys, if you also have questions, please do drop it on the comments, and we'll be able to have Mr. Green take your questions. I like how the conversation is very authentic, realistic, contemporary, something that even if you don't have so much, you're able to start out with. And we've just had the conversation around common products, or not products per se. I said product because I work in product. Anyway, common produce, either tomato or cucumber and lettuce. And so we've talked about four things today. We've talked about lettuce, we've talked about tomato, we've talked about cucumber, and now it's about to talk about pepper. So I think that those are like basic things that we could grow. And I think maybe the last question I might ask him, I'm not certain if he grows that, by then be around ugu. Ugu is like the regular pumpkin vegetable. I would have to ask him if he grows that, and then we'll ask him about that question, because I know that many women on the call uh, many women on the call will be very keen about ugu. I will be keen about ugu because the quantity of pumpkin leaf that they sell for 1,000 naira in the market right now used to be like the quantity in the local market precisely. Used to be like the quantity you could buy for maybe 200 naira a while back. It's not what you buy for like maybe 1,000 naira now. And so I think that's like the next, grow your own food. The question we're going to ask him. But so far, the conversation has been quite insightful and interesting. I know that you guys have heard a lot of interesting words today, like when he talked about bed. I have to say, please explain what that is. He was using a couple of agricultural terminologies that the average person might not be conversant with. When he talked about um, compost, people understand it as fertilizer, which is manure, organic or inorganic. And I was talking about rabbits. There's a way they call it in agriculture. Um, so the waste from rabbits, from rabbitry, poultry, what else? Piggery, goatry as well can be used as manure, but it can't be applied directly. The reason because um, it still has a bit of chemical reaction within it. The urea content will be very high, so typically you advise that before using those things, you have to like sort of dry them out, like let those chemical liquid contents within it be extracted first so that it doesn't burn off your plant. But it has just been quite an interesting conversation. And so, guys, if you're listening on the podcast right now on live, or you're watching like the replay, you're going to watch the replay anyways. Subscribe. I was going through the analytics the other day. I was like, I have more people just coming by and watching. Like over 92% of people just come and watch. They don't subscribe. So subscribe. The reason for the subscription is because so that the algorithm is able to push this content more to people that needs it. So please do subscribe. Please do share. I feel like this is one conversation that more people need to know about. And Mr. Green is back and is in the green farm. Yes, welcome back. We can see you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Sorry,
Fantastic.
I don't know what happened. I don't know,
It's
but
quite
I'm back.
understandable. Them. It's network.
Thank you.
You're in Nigeria. It's understandable. So it's fine.
Thank you for staying tuned, and thank you for um taking our imperfections. We are good.
No, it's
So
totally fine.
like I was talking about the pepper, making growing Scotch bonnet atarodo from scratch. I think that's good, right? Or should I talk
Okay.
about chili? It's the same procedure actually.
Okay, let's talk about the ones that the average person understands. Atarodo, I like the Atarodo one.
So
It's
yeah,
hot,
that's atarodo
hot
Scotch
one.
bonnet, the hot pepper. They are hot
Yeah.
pepper. Generally in capsicum family, they are like hot, then sweet pepper. When you're talking about sweet pepper, you're talking about the bell pepper, the green pepper. At least they are not hot. Hot pepper, atarodo, the tatase, the chili, the green red chili. So let's talk about atarodo here. So to grow atarodo is simple. Get your seed from a good seed source. Buy good seed pack on the market. Get good bag from a good seed company. There are so many good seed companies that you see around. There's no need mentioning names. You get a good seed, then you raise your seed. It takes like 10, 14 days. It could be more. It could even be up to 20 days before your seed germinates. Yes, pepper
Mm.
usually take time to germinate. Yeah. So when your pepper germinates, What you do is that preparing your media for pepper, make sure you add some rabbit poo. The reason for adding rabbit poo is add rabbit poo. If you cannot access rabbit poo, put very small amount, let's say like 5% of a good poultry waste. You can use cow dung, but the thing about cow dung is that it can introduce some seeds, some grass growing in your tray before you transplant, because in cow dung you see spores, endospores of seed that it has eaten. Once the cow eats something, then digest it, all the rumination, then shitting it out, you still see some seed that once it didn't drop on the ground, you see that some grass that come from it. But if you use poultry waste, most of the time you don't see it coming up with grass. So
Okay, guys, just sort of okay, guys, please just bear with us. We're having a bit of connectivity issue. I'm pretty sure that Mr. Green would be joining us back shortly, so just bear with us. But so far, I feel like this interaction has been quite insightful. Um, the seedling and the nursery preparation for all the vegetables seems to be very similar from what he has shared so far in terms of like preparing your nursery, then also the transplanting, right? I think that all the vegetables that we talked about today somewhat require uh, the nursery growing a bit for like maybe 2 weeks. Back again, welcome.
thank you. I'm sorry for all these
We
this
understand. We understand. It's okay. And you are in the farm, so
I'm
we
sorry for
understand. Okay.
undulation.
It's
I
okay.
don't like it that way. So it looks like somebody is not, that you are not really fully into this. My mind, my attention, my everything is into this. At least I'm sorry once again, my viewers or our viewers. Okay, let me continue. So why making the media for your growing media or your nursery media for your pepper? Put some rabbit poo at least, so that it's going to give that nutrients, the nutrient base to the media you're using, because it takes longer time on the seedling trays before you remove it. It takes like a month, or some can even be more. Let your pepper grow significant. Uh, Let it grow significant. Let it be strong before you transplant. Because the stronger your pepper is before you transplant, the more chance of survival on the field. Most of the time, while growing atarodo, they
So when
are
you say
plant.
strong, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean like the duration you leave it for, like the number of weeks it has to fruit it, it has to have a certain kind of leaf structure? What do you mean by strong? So that our audience is able to understand us.
Okay, like when you check your stem, the stem that is carrying the plant. Yes,
Yeah?
you water your plants in the morning, like at the new stage. You see, after watering, they will look sleepy like this. The stem will
Mm-hmm.
bend. The stem has not
Mm-hmm.
become strong. But
Okay.
at some point, you see, even if you water immediately, your plant will not sleep. It will still be very
Standing
upright.
erect. Mm.
Then at that point, you will have carried like 6, 7 leaves.
Okay.
Your stem might not be like light green. It will now be turning to like dark green already. You know that this
Mm.
plant is ready to face the art of the field transplanting. So while transplanting, if you plant in seed tray, you remove the plant, it will have like a box, like the root is going to be compacted. There's not going to be any transplanting. But if you raise your seed inside bed or inside bowl, while removing it, you realize that the root is exposed. It's still good and fine. Maybe the root is compacted, like it is planted in the tray, or it is exposed, good and fine. Immediately you plant, water. What we do most of the time is that we water before we plant. So
Mm.
for you, if you are doing a drip line, make sure you run water before you plant. If you are doing a flooding irrigation, make sure you flood the place before you plant. If it is inside bucket you are planting or inside sack, water the soil inside the sack before you plant. If you are doing sack, bucket, and so, you know that you are not watering so much because most of the time you don't have up to 100 plants. Yes, it's only when you are doing field planting, because most people that do containerized farming are for their house, so they don't grow
Yeah.
too much plants. So water, then after transplanting, plant your pepper. Make sure the neck level, the collar level is not too sink into the soil. Just make sure that the root
Mm.
enters the, then you cover it. Then after that, you water again. That means you are watering 2 times. You are watering before, then you are watering after. For those that do flooding irrigation, that plant on the field, you don't need to water immediately after planting, because you are still going to have a very good amount of water in the bed. So,
Yeah.
but after transplanting, if you are doing field, after transplanting, you water after 2 days. Water again after 2 days, so that you don't lose any of your plants to desiccation or to dry. Yes. So for those that plant in buckets, when you water immediately after planting, the second day you water it. Don't get bothered. When you plant, most of the time you see your plants looking sleepy, that they are not as sturdy as they are supposed to be. It's good and fine. They call it transplanting shock. They are trying to get used to the shock. Change of position is good and fine. But after like a week, you should have seen your plant at least has come up with vigor, like looking like they've gotten life. Then in 2 weeks, you can start thinking of manuring, then putting fertilizer, the normal fertilizer NPK 50 15 15 as a balanced ratio. But for us here, we use NPK 20 10 10. We use it very well. If
Mm.
you think you want to start with urea by boosting the growth of your plant from the initial stage, because what urea does is that it makes your plant to come up vegetatively very fast, because it has a lot of nitrogen, and you know that nitrogen, they are boosters. They give your plants vegetative growth, leaves, and so on and so forth. You might want to start with urea. You can just start with your NPK 20 10 10, straightforward. Yes. Then your compost, put your compost if you have, you will have gotten to know what work for you. But if you don't know what work for you, let's say you are a starter, you don't have any you at all. Yes. After that one, you can put in some poultry waste, put in dry poultry waste, small at least. What you do is that the idea in your head is smaller your plant, the smaller the fertilizer or the manure or the compost you are putting. Bigger plants have more root system established inside the ground. So if you give them more nutrient, they take it, they spread it around their buttress. So the smaller your plant, the smaller the nutrient you give. A small plant, you can give them tablespoon worth of manure. Once it has grown bigger, then you can give them maybe a handful of your hand, like half of it. Once your plant has grown really big, then you know that each plant can take handful of manure at that point. That means your plant at that time should be like a 2 month, 3 months old. They will have gotten a lot of leaves. So planting now, after planting, you put manure, you put fertilizer, maybe urea, then your plant has grown leafy, it's coming up with more leaves. So every 3 weeks or every 1 month, you might want to be giving them nutrients. Yes, giving them nutrients so that they will up more, they will come up more. Pepper usually takes time. So if your pepper does not flower for you in like 2 months, if you do not see any flower at all, ideally flower should have come. Flower is supposed to come before 2 months. But if you do not see flower, it's still good and fine. Sometimes some plants will delay based on some environmental condition. Then you continue to give it nutrient. You'll be what pepper does not need too much water per se. It doesn't need too much water. As a matter of fact, if you overwater your pepper, it might cause root rot. So for those that have their pepper on the field, you can water your pepper depending on your method of irrigation. Water your pepper every other day or maybe 3 times in a week. But for those that have their pepper inside container, the most best ideal watering regime for your pepper is to water every other day. If you have your pepper in container, there's no need watering your pepper every day. So water your pepper every other day, give it manure, then be checking the pepper leaves. If you see that leaves of your pepper folding, I mean like the apex, the tips, if it is folding, that's a sign of disease. If your pepper, the tips is bringing out yellow leaves, that's a sign of disease, or your pepper is lacking some nutrients. So in that case, you might need to apply some manure again. If your pepper is folding, most likely is strips, and strips
Mm.
is a great killer when it comes to pepper. Is one of his number one pests that can put you out of production when it comes to growing pepper. Combating trips, you just need to know the right pesticide to use, the right dosage, the right frequency. You spray 2 times in a week. That's if the thing is pronounced. But for preventive spray once a week. So from seed sowing to harvesting your pepper, it takes like that's your it takes like, let's say, 130 days, 140 days, and you can keep harvesting your pepper for like a year. Depends on how well you could take care of your pepper. Pepper is a plant that lasts very well, most especially at Arodo. It can last
Mm.
very well on the field. So it's supposed to be an annual plant. So I can call it like it's a biennial plant. That means it can stay for 2 years if you take care of your pepper plant. So you don't need to be carried away if you see that the upper leaf is looking glossy. You might want to turn the leaf and check if there's any pest hiding under, because that can reduce your production and can as well lead to the death of your pepper. That's your atarodo. So you can also treat your pepper, maybe routine spray of neem oil, those that put any inorganic thing on their pepper. What you do is that this is what you do. You can make chili pepper solution from chili pepper. That's your organic pesticide. Then you have your neem oil. Then you'll be alternating. Once you spray the neem oil, then you spray liquid soap to wash off that. Then the next spraying, you can make it your chili pepper and ginger solution. And maybe if you move
When you
around
say
in the
liquid soap, sorry, don't be too fast. When you say liquid soap, what do you mean? Do you mean like
Money fresh,
money fresh?
money fresh.
Wow.
Yes, we use money fresh. Like even when you check some a lot of organic pesticide, you see money fresh to be their base. Yes, you use money fresh. That's your liquid soap. Thank you for bringing me back to that. Yeah, use your money fresh. Yes, at least a good quantity. Don't need to use too much. Yes, that is why when you buy any farm produce, number one thing you do is to wash before you use them. An ideal farmer knows that before I make an harvest, I give my plant a window period like that of spray. Let's say I want to harvest next tomorrow. I don't need to spray it today. Do you get? What we do most of the time is that immediately after harvest, you spray so that before you get to another harvest, That's any residue of any pesticide you use will have neutralized, at least to a very large extent.
Yeah.
And a good farmer knows that you don't uh, over put a pesticide. You use a mild quantity, at least a reasonable quantity that will be able to combat the pest, and at the same time we not impede anybody that so there has to be a balance in between the two. There has to be a balance. So
Mm.
from, like I said, from seed sowing to your harvesting, it take like 120 to 140 days. Your atarodo, then you can keep harvesting for the next 1 year. What do? You just need to take the normal routine, watering, manuring. There are times that you might need to prune down your pepper. Maybe the down leaves has become so bushy or that so congested, then you cut them down so that it's going to have enough ventilation. Breeze can enter inside. The breeze can enter. Then the more breeze, the more space, the more strength you give your pepper, the more energy it gets, then the more production you have. Overall,
Mm.
I still have one or two things to talk about. Overall, is that farming is a process. When you start, you don't know too much. So with time, you start to be understanding more. Then you'll be knowing what works for you more. You'll be realizing it more and more. You'll be learning with time. So the best farmers you see are people that pay attention to details. That they are putting their mind into it. They are very painstaking. They be like, this thing is affecting me. How do I put a solution to it? Sometimes you are able to diagnose something, then you come up with solution yourself. Sometimes you hear say it, then you try it. And another thing I want to say is, at any point in time that you try any new thing in your farm, it is ideal you try on few crops. Let's say somebody just give you a formula, a recipe. Don't expose that thing to all your plants. Just take two plants, on them. If it works very fine, good, okay, well, I can replicate that same thing for my plant. And if it impedes the plant, okay, no, either I've done this thing, or most of the time have actually overdone it, because if you underdo it, you won't see any difference. You get? So you try
Mm.
like that. And maybe it's a good time for me to talk about my stay on organic and inorganic. Yes.
Yeah, that
No.
was the next question I was going to ask you. Like, because you're always talking about manure, then apply fertilizers. Like, oh, okay, so this guy is typically on the side of having a blend of both, as against just using one particular one. So yes, you want to touch on that for us, please.
Okay, thank you very much. It's one thing to want to tell people what everybody is saying, and it's another thing to want to tell people what it is exactly, the actual thing that is playing out. Okay, what I tell people most of the time is that if you are going to be a farmer, you are most likely not going to be an organic farmer. I'm talking about exclusive organic here. Exclusive
Yeah.
organic in the sense that you don't want to use any manure, you don't want, any fertilizer, you don't want to use any inorganic based pesticide. Yes, you don't want to use any inorganic based pesticide. That makes you an exclusive. That means everything you are using a cow poo that you know the source. You are not even using any cow poo, because as a cow that they are filled with a lot of antibiotics, a lot of inorganic stuff. Maybe a cow is sick. They are now treating it with a lot of injection, and so from the feces of that cow, I mean the poo, you probably see some inorganic content, or so you know the source of everything you are putting. That makes you an inorganic farmer. Sorry, an organic farmer, an exclusive organic farmer. So what I preach to people is you knowing how to balance the two. At least know the quantity of organic you are using, quantity of inorganic you are using. Because if you
Mm.
are to tell ourselves the truth, even when you go to foreign countries, go and check the statistic immediately after this video. Just type it on Google. Like, what's the percentage of inorganic produce in the population? you see that is around 95, 97%. Those 3% cannot even feed their family well enough, not to talk of feeding their state, their town, or the whole country. I've always told people this, that if you are a farmer, you are likely to be an organic farmer, because every odd is stacked against you, from the pest and disease, from the weather, from your soil. All odds are stacked against you. So if you are going to farming and you are profit oriented, if you check Nigeria now, one number one farmer that you see online, most especially on Instagram, is Okpe Farm, and she has very little things she grows. Most of the time, cucumber, you see maybe some kale, like you can hardly grow bell pepper, you can hardly grow tomato, you can hardly grow like things like that. Northern farmers are, like I've always told people, these are people that like that rule the country when it comes to farming, because they farm a lot.
Yeah.
Most especially when it comes to vegetables and fruits, you're most likely not going to be an exclusive organic, because before you know, you've already seen trips on your plant. Before you know, you've seen tutor. You are not the one that caused it, it's nature.
Mm.
You just come to your farm the next day, then you see some tutor absoluta flying around, or that they put lava in your farm. Then you want to do too. No, no, I will not put any chemical. I want to be this exclusive. Before you know, that farm is gone. Before you know, that farm is gone. Then your plant is not giving you good yield. Then you see another person's farm that is coming up with at least good amount, the size of the tomato. Because even the funny thing is that when you go to the market, nobody looks at your products. Nobody looks at your produce, because they are not looking so marketable. They are looking small, small. They are not looking fresh, because pests have dealt with it. The
Mm.
the nutrient you are supposed to give it for you to grow more, you are not able to give it that enough nutrient. Then it's not able to give you the right vigor it's supposed to give you. Most
Mm.
farmers are afraid to talk about it, because they don't want people to not be like, no, I don't want to patronize this. No, I don't. Me, I'm not afraid, because I know by grace of God I'm going very far, and I'm going to put this out there, because it's the truth. Most farmer will even lie to you, is organic. My this thing is organic. My this is organic. I don't want to tell you a lot of stories about farming, a lot of things around there. Even my oga, he did organic one time. It didn't work for him. Like, he lost a lot of money. He has to know, no. He was producing something. He was producing a fertilizer. I'm not supposed to say this. It's not exclusive organic. And he was saying it's organic. He was saying
Mm.
it's organic. Not, because he has probably tried the exclusive. See, this thing not to give me waiting I want, but they will not write organic on it. Why are we lying to ourselves? When the
Mm.
number of organic produce in circulation is 97%, why do you think those people are producing it that way? Why do you think they don't want to switch to exclusive organic? We will all grow, we will all go hungry if you want to do exclusive organic. We will all go hungry, because we will not have enough quantity to cater for yourself, not to talk of your of people around, not to talk of you exporting or taking food to another state. So it's high time we start being truthful about this. And only a young person that has been into farming, that understand this side, that understand that side, will be able to come out plainly and talk to you. I'm not just a farmer, I'm a social media person. I'm a realistic person. I'm a realist. So I'll tell you the truth the way it is. So I'm not here to like now maybe to talk to people, then you not like me. I don't need to be like, you don't need to like my truth or so, but I will tell you the way things are. Even in foreign
But
countries that are sophisticated than us, they have all the facilities. They don't do, most of them don't do exclusive organic farming. Talk more of we here. Before you know,
mm.
trips has entered your farm. Before you see a feed, before you know, you see grasshopper. Before you know, you see that the soil you are growing things in, you don't have much space. You are doing crop rotation. Maybe you left this so amount, so particular land this season, you grow here. Coming back there, the trend pack has not fully formed. You need some energy in form of fertilizer. Do you understand? You need to
Yeah.
give your plant complete
Nutrients.
micronutrients and micronutrients,
Yeah.
which most of them come from inorganic fertilizer or so. Not
Wow.
promoting here, but at least I'm trying to tell you what works. This is what works.
Fantastic.
There was a time,
Fantastic.
sorry, let me just share this story. I went to see one farmer one time. He was saying that his strawberries is in Chahar, like is a village in Jos here. He was claiming his strawberries organic, organic. Then when I went there and I now saw, because once you apply fertilizer, the residue it gives these traces of lime your soil for a few days. Then when I now saw it, I was like, okay, like is this not trace of fertilizer? You now look and because he knows I'm a, you now say I'm putting small fertilizer. You know now, Shegun, I'm putting small. I just smile. And to other people, they'll be shouting it out there, it's organic, it's organic. Even to all the buyers around there, they will tell you that nobody, if you ask them too much, is your organic? Anybody that wants to tell you the truth will say, no, it's not. Oh, you still buy or not. If not, that thing that they are selling to you as organic is actually not organic, but they
Okay.
are lying to
Hmm.
you. So,
All right. Thank
so
thank you so much for sharing your own perspective as to why it is important to sort of have diffusion of
that my
both
own perspective, I think it's a general thing, but we have not accepted it generally.
organic and organic together. The reason you have mentioned is like so that people are able to get good yield, right? Good
Yes.
yield, luscious plant or
Pest,
fruiting and
pest.
things like that for
The
much
number
more
one thing
productivity.
is not even the yield,
Okay.
it's the pest. Pest we make
Okay,
it, we push.
management of pests. Because if still the pest infestation or pest management is still towards good yield now. Because if the pest eats your the flowers or the leaf, it cannot form the fruits. It's still
Thank
affecting
you, thank
productivity
you.
and yield ultimately. So yeah.
Yes.
So we have two more questions for you, Mr. Shegun, before we let you go this morning, because I know that you also have to sort of travel for an event you have tomorrow in Abuja. Um, so, for anybody that's listening on this call now, what are like three specific actions that they can take in the next 1 week to get started with their backyard garden or backyard farming? What exactly? Just few steps that they can take in the next 7 days to start with.
The number one step you need to take is the passionate, the interest, the intention. Be ready, be intentional, be like, no, I want to do this. Because that's what is going to guide you come rain, come sunshine, when you are facing the good part or the bad part. So you need to be ready that I want to do this. That's number one step. Second step is space. Be thinking of a space now. Maybe you have an abandoned land somewhere, okay, or you don't have a land, then maybe you have a small space in your backyard or in your balcony or before the entrance of your house. Be thinking of an ideal space in your head, like, okay, well, this is it. And the third step is that start seeking for the right knowledge. Seeking for the right knowledge is what is going to make you to know the right soil to use, the right medicine to use, then the right place to source for your seed or for your seedlings. Yes. So be ready art wise, like be intentional, like, okay, I want to do this. Think of a space, acquire a space, then seek for knowledge. Yes. And I don't
Fantastic.
forget that you do a lot of try and error along the line. You learn a lot by making mistakes. Nobody has become successful by just doing things straightforward and go. You will fall. You'll be like, no, 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 this cannot be the end. Let me try this again. You are going to make mistakes. So don't be afraid. If you kill your plant, it's part of it. So I tell people when you kill your plant, it's a win for you. And when your plant grows very well, it's a win. Because when you kill your plant, you want to analyze why did this plant die. It makes you learn. That's an additional knowledge for you, it's an experience. It keeps you more for a bigger project. So be ready outwise, be ready. Then get a space, then seek knowledge, source for the right seeds, and so like knowledge will make you do all those things.
Fantastic. So there's someone on the
And
audience.
again, and again,
Okay.
I want to say You can't grow everything, please. You can't grow everything. This is what I tell people. I think I have a lot to say, but we don't have all the time. You
So
can't grow
okay, so
everything. Grow what you need. If it is tomato,
grow
you
what
need
you
to grow pepper. Grow, yes. That adds to what I just said now, what you need to prepare your mind for. Grow what you need. So you need to be putting in your mind, what do I want to grow? Okay, I think I use carrots more. I'm going carrots. Oh, okay. I think I need I want to fight for cancer. I want to fight cancer for someone. Okay, I think I need to grow soursop so that I can be using the leaves. Do you understand? Or I want to grow asparagus for that because asparagus is a very good thing for that too. Or I want to grow cauliflower for that. I want to grow, just be specific. You can't grow everything. If you are growing
mm,
5 things, 10 things, or 20, but because fruit and vegetable are so much, know what you want to grow and study them.
fantastic. So we have someone in our audience, Sawar, who says we talk a bit about pumpkin. Do you grow pumpkin? Do you grow that kind of vegetable? Because I know that we don't grow. I don't know, but it wasn't a popular thing when I was in Jos. Sorry, I was in Bocos and Plateau. But do you grow pumpkin?
But pumpkin, I don't grow pumpkin, but it's in cucurbit family. It's in the family of cucumber, watermelon, and so it's
So
just the
what
same.
applies to cucumber as well could be
Yeah,
applicable to pumpkin.
cucumber, watermelon. So most of the things you do to watermelon, let's not even say cucumber, is what you do to pumpkin. Things like that are not hard to grow. I think that plant like pumpkin is a, because I think maybe accidentally I've grown something uh, that I think I've grown. I don't know how it just germinated, and I was just taking care of it, and then it ended up turning to pumpkin in my farm. So it's not something that is very demanding or that is tasky. Just give it the same approach you give
Okay.
cucumber.
So would that also be
I'm with you,
okay?
man.
So would that also be like a transplanting for it as well, or you can just grow
Pumpkin,
directly into it?
just give
Okay.
me
Would that
you
also
want.
be like a transplant? Okay, please
Yes.
just run us through quickly.
If you want to do transplanting for pumpkin, good and fine. But most time, the seed of pumpkin are big, they are significant. You can plant them
Yes.
directly.
Yes.
So
Okay. So we can
pumpkin,
plant pumpkin in sack bag and in container.
yes, you can plant them directly. Pumpkin is a vine. It grows like vine, then it continues to move.
Yes, branches.
A pumpkin is something you need to plant on the ground so that, because the fruit of pumpkin can be very big. It's one of the biggest fruits in the world. Pumpkin, it can be very, very big. So you plant it on the ground so that it will be crawling. If you want to plant it on a structure, make sure that the structure you are planting it on, like it has like an horizontal. Okay, this is horizontal, this is vertical. It has like
Yeah.
horizontal base that you can rest on it.
Mm,
Do you understand? But most of the
yeah.
time, it's better you plant your pumpkin on the ground. It's not something that you now stake one small stick or like okay, it's going to just drop and break everything because of the size of the fruit. So it's something you
Mm,
plant on the ground, then you put manure, you put fertilizer as the case may be, then it continue to elongate. Some people will advise you that if your plant fruits so much, just like watermelon, then it flowers so much, then you might need to remove some. Let's say maybe that's 100, maybe you remove like 30 so that the remaining 70 can do bigger,
mm.
so that the energy will be concentrated on the few, on those that you left, so that it can grow bigger for you.
Okay.
So that's
So
yeah.
it seems like you haven't have you grown watermelon?
Yes,
Okay, can you just quickly walk us through watermelon since that's something you're much more conversant with? Then
it's
we take
almost
our
the
final
same thing. I was saying watermelon, you grow it on the ground. Once your
Oh, still on the
watermelon,
ground. Wow.
yes, yes, is good for you. That's why if you check watermelon, most of the time you see some part of it having this brown color or like the earth color.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Earth color. What they do
Yeah.
sometimes is once your watermelon has grown, is now fruiting so much, you can put straw, like leaf, so that it rests on it, it doesn't touch the ground. But even if it touch the ground, it's no problem. That's why you see some watermelon, they are fresh from head to toe. Those one they put straw on them. If you see the one that have earth materials, they are just on the field. No, nothing spoil, all the same. So watermelon, once you plant, give it a good spacing of watermelon, give it an ideal spacing of around 70 cm apart. Because if you take care of your watermelon well, it's going to spread branches, then it will cover buttress on the ground. Then if you notice that your watermelon has little flowers on it, leave it like that. But if it has a lot of flowers and they probably thrown to fruits, emasculate out, cut out some of the some of the flowers, just nip them out so that the energy will be concentrated on the other one. Let's say maybe you have 20 watermelon in a plant, which in one way or the other is too much. You might want to reduce it to like 12. Okay, let's see what this 12 gives me, or even lesser. Because sometimes the flower will just want to overdo like possible and bring out a lot of flowers. Then it's you that I know that, okay, well, let me remove some of these flowers so that the little you have, you can produce them bigger. Do you get?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Your watermelon from seed, you can plant it directly. Most of cocoa beets family, you can plant their seed directly on the ground, or
Okay.
you raise seed in the seed tray.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
So this is our final question to you, being the Gen Z farmer that you are. When we started out this conversation, I was saying that um, when the average Nigerian or African youth sometimes think about agriculture, they think about it from a place of it's things that are meant for the elderly, for our fathers and our mothers. And so I said to you at the beginning, I wanted them to see that you are Mr. Green for real, that you had, your hair is tinted green, and you're a very vibrant and young person as well. So my next question to you is, what's your advice to the Nigerian youth who thinks that farming is a profitable venture? Farming is for losers. Farming is for people that don't have swag. What's your advice to them?
I think the way everything is going now, like there are times I make joke for people. I'll be like, we are still the only bona fide Nigeria owning our women to ourselves. My wife will not go and leave me because she's not going to be hungry. Do you understand? So the way things are going now, we are going to be the chiefs. We are going to be the leader. So the earlier you start getting yourself into planting, the better for you. Sometimes they sell things very expensive, very exorbitant. You see me coming and say, no, how can they be selling back onion this so amount, this one, that the farmers are thieves, they are taking advantage of people, some others, some this, blah, 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 blah. Onion is easy to grow. You can grow it at the back of your house. You can grow it easily. So why would you, let's imagine most of us are growing things. These people don't want to be doing shit. They will not be taking advantage now. You get your own small, I get my own small, and then before you know now, the price is now fair for everybody to now be able to buy a hand. So even if you don't want to be a Gen Z, if you don't want to do farming because every person is doing it, you need to do it because you need it. All this situation that is happening now, this economy is showing everybody pepper say you feel grow this little thing yourself in your house. There's no steez, no vibe is attached to it. You need it. If you are not growing everything, at least grow the small thing that you can just easily get from your house. At the end of the day, you'll be able to save some money. It's not all that money you used to go and buy broccoli, you used to buy this cabbage, you used to buy this carrot. When you can grow, and it's fun, it's therapeutic. That it's fun. It has this way of healing you. You blending with nature. Okay, so again, let me talk about this my personality or you as a person. You don't need to be an old person before you grow things. Unlike those days, they be like, no, farmers are usually 30, they are this, they are that. That's funny. That's funny. You see a young guy because there's money in agriculture. As I money being in agriculture, it's something that challenges you. You can't even be a dumb person and be an agriculturist. You need to be smart. You need to be able to think ahead. You need to be able to solve problems. Challenges you mentally. So you need to be very upright. You need to be upright, sound upright. You need to be like sagacious. You need to be dope upstairs. So for you to
Yeah.
be a farmer, you need to. And again, like I do say, I walk up, get dirty up, bath up, clean up, things up. Do you understand? Most of the time when people see me in the streets, although me, I'm not this kind of person that dress elaborate, but when I really dress, maybe I'm going for a function or I'm going for something, most people don't even know. Some people even think I'm Yahoo boy. I'll just keep like, I swear to God. If you thinking that this guy is a Yahoo guy, do you get? They don't know that this guy is a fan. You don't need to like look all dirty or unkempt. Do your work. When you are done, bath up, like look all steez up, and do you get? Like you be live of any social gathering, and you be very relevant in the society. So one of the reason why I'm in this space, when I was in school, I realized that many people, they are not happy with being in botany. They are really looking down on the course. I said to myself that I'm going to sell plants into people, and I'm going to give it all that energy. I'm going to make it so buyable, so marketable, so sellable, so consumable to as many people as possible. So I'm going to give life into it. I'm going to give comic into it. I'll give anything into it because we all need it. That is how it is. That's how it is. We all need it. You as a young person, start now. You will not have everything figured out. I've not gotten to where I'm going. I like the fact that I'm advancing every day. Sometimes on my page, some people will just reach out to me not to buy anything. I like what you are doing. You are an inspiration. Keep it up. Oh, I like the angle you are taking. Do you understand? Like, it's getting more meaningful. I'm not even close to where I'm going. I didn't just get to be Mr. Green one day. It all started from okay, oh, this. So you as a young person, start something from the scratch. You're going to face a very critical moment. So, oh my God, in as much as I'm a farmer, I know that my story is different and very, very unique. Yeah, I want to be a voice. I want to like motivate a lot of people, and I want to tell you life will not give you all you want. You just have to start and be giving your all. You have to be giving your all. There are times that I used to drink Gary back. Do you get? Not that I was so in love with Gary. Someone that knows me closely then say, "Oh, you like Gary so much?" You know, that's what I could survive on that time. Do you get? But
Mm, yeah.
it's like I got a little bit of elevation. I get it more. Now, what I tell people is I'm getting more relevant in life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
continue to do what I think I know how to do, and I do it better, coming up with creativity, coming up with ideas, selling it to the world, because I feel like we all need more relevance will come in, and at least I have more voice, more audience to reach out to, then we can change the world to be better. So you as a young person,
Fantastic.
farming. Mm.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mr. Green, for your time, for sharing your expertise with us. And most importantly, thank you for the unique angle that you bring to agriculture. Because it's not every day you get to see someone that is very vibrant, passionate, and also resilient in terms of what they do. That's agriculture. And so for you, uh, you are taking it on as a mission for yourself to also inspire and empower the Gen Zs to also look into agriculture, which is something really beautiful. And I like how you are also like an advocate for sustainable agriculture and also for youth as well. Like, okay, there's something here we can exploit. There was something you made mention about, which is very critical. Most people studying some of the biological science courses and even agriculture itself feel like there's a waste. Let me just do and pass and go. I beg you. I just they waste my time here. You know that kind of thing. Like, oh, they don't really want to be zealous about it. Like, oh, what am I going to do with it? But I like how you had said to yourself that this is where I found myself, and I'm going to be the best of it. And that's what you're outrightly doing. And you just, living your life and doing the thing that you're doing, you're an inspiration. If I didn't see your post on Instagram, I wouldn't even reach out to you. So imagine you were not posting, right? And so this particular stream we're having now, lots of people will see it and be inspired and be encouraged just because of that one decision you made a while back. And you see how it's also sort of paving ways for you as well. So this is my own way of acknowledging the sacrifices that you have made over the years and the sacrifice that you continue to make because you are just starting out, like you said, where you're going to is still far. And so in those days where it looks like it's tough and it's challenging, please do remember that you are an inspiration, not just to your community there in Plateau, you're an inspiration to the Nigerian youth as well. So yes. So thank you.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic.